Hi, it's Cody Alexander bringing you another MQ chess match. Today we're going to look at the LA Rams versus the Seattle Seahawks offense. Now, Seattle Seahawks offense and the LA Rams defense are both in the top 10 in DVOA for their respective sides. So this is a great matchup, not only because you're seeing two top 10 offense and defense matchup, but also because they are opponents that see each other multiple times a year. Okay, they're in the same division, they're in the same conference, they see each other a lot, they know each other, and what I like usually in matchups like this is that you're going to start seeing best practices. You're going to see things that they know what they're really good at. They know who Seattle is and what they're not good at, and so therefore you're going to see the Rams kind of attack that. One thing that you are going to see is a multitude of different fronts on passing downs. You're going to see them really attack number 65, Fetty. Okay, he kind of gives up, I think, about 2 or 3 sacks. So what this is going to be the LA Rams sack tape versus Seattle. They had 5 sacks in this game, and I'm going to break down each one of those sacks and kind of tell you what happened. Now, the other main theme in this is you're going to see cover 1 in the secondary. Okay, so I'll have one shot where I'll show you kind of it was a kind of a coverage sack, but for the most part, they manipulated the pass pro, getting one-on-ones where they needed it. Now, this particular one is you're going to see a tech stunt away from the slide. Now, you're going to see a slide at the snap, and they're going to go to Donald's side. Now, that makes sense because he's one of the NFL's best defensive players, and to give them support. But you're also going to see what I call a 5-0 front. So as you get the running back motion in, okay, you're IDing it right now. You know this is man coverage, okay? What you're going to see here is a man blocking across. So they either have to slide the front somewhere or they're going to have to man block it. So at the snap of the ball, you're going to see the running back take off, okay? That is going to bring Littleton with it. Okay, because these guys, he's late, but Littleton's gonna rush to him. That brings the center with him. So what you end up getting is a 2-on-2, and now you're gonna get a 3-on-2 over here. This is a great example of how you can use the jet, what I call a jet front, okay? Because now in the NFL, sometimes these guys can get in 4 eyes instead of 3s. But you can see that this is a jet front. So you have 2 wide 5s, you have 2 4 eyes or 3s, and you have what I call a mug or a mic. So he's on the center. As he goes with the running back, as the running back goes with him, he's going to bring that center this way. That's going to create a huge lane on this side for these guys to use the tech stunt, which is exactly what we want. So as we come over here, you're going to see this. He's going to work vertical. He's going to set up that tackle. Once that tackle gets even with the T who's running the text, this is where you're going to see him go flat and fast back inside and really punish the quarterback on this. So as we get this set up, he's kind of working a two-way go to set the front. He's got himself a little two-way go right here on the guard. The center is going to work this way because Littleton is bringing him this way. You're going to watch him vertically set. He's vertically setting. Once they get even, he's going to dart inside. So this is a good example of using that tech stunt, okay, and then walling guys off over here. So a good quarterback like Russell Wilson, he knows I got to step up into the pocket. Well, he doesn't feel any pressure over here because it's wide, but you can already see as he's going to step up into that pocket, that guy's going to knife inside and end up making this play. So this is a great example of that. And then also with 97 beating his man one-on-one and showing up late. So even if, let's say, the guard would have got him, you still have a little bit of pressure by 97. He might have been able to chase him down. Now let's break down the tech stunt. Okay, so as we're watching this, 92 is just going to work vertical. Okay, he knows he's got to get in front of this tackle and he's got to occupy the guard. That guard is looking initially for anybody that might be coming. Okay, no one's coming, so he's going to lock onto that guard. As he's not going to be able to see that D end coming back inside because there's been a pick set. So this is how you can use one guy to waste 2. Great job. He sets vertically. Now he knows he's got to cut off that guard doesn't have a chance to come back, and now you end up getting the sack. So Russell Wilson doesn't have anywhere to go with the ball quick because they're playing man coverage. So again, let's watch this one more time. Abukum comes underneath, makes a sack, plays over. sack, you're going to see an overload front to the tight end side. Now, all an overload front is you're putting multiple D linemen on one side. Now, it's still a 5-0 front. Okay, he's man coverage here, he's man coverage on here. You've got 5 guys for 5 offensive linemen, but the overload is to this side. You're putting 3 guys over here, there's only 2 guys over here. So if they're going to slide, you're going to get the slide this way. This guy's kind of the wild card. They don't know what he's going to do, but the guard still has to honor that because he's right there. So you may see him flash here, or if they know that they're going to have the running back in here, then he might be able to slide away. If the running back is out and it's basically empty protection, then they're going to man block everybody. Now, what's interesting about this clip is that Effetti right here locks onto Donald. Donald's going to work inside, and he actually chases him. Now, I understand this is one of the best defensive players in the NFL, but that tight end on Clay Matthews is probably not the best matchup that you want, especially when he's going to release and just chip Clay Matthews. So he's going to come home free. What this really shows, and what I kind of want to go over, is really a best practice in the overload front. You're going to see them set a pick here with the nose. He's going to work here and then kind of fade out. What that's going to do is clamp him and clamp him right here. He's going to work inside the interior. He's going to flash, or what I call a stab and sit on the guard, and then he's going to work vertically. So what you end up getting, if all of this were to work out correctly, is that you would get a clamp by these two. He would continue, and you would get a one-on-one on both D ends. Both D ends would end up getting a one-on-one. But what you would end up inside is that you would be able to get him maybe free on the quarterback because the center and the guard are both working here, and then there's no one to pick up Donald on the other side because this guard is occupied by him, and the tackle again is over here. So this is a simple overload look that you see typically from teams that do this. So I'll let this run through. So you can see Littleton's attacking the running back. That's going to bring that guard with him. You can see here the tackle's manned on number 56 right here, Dante Fowler. So you've got man blocking, and you've got the running back. Now, you can see the center and both guards are going to clamp right here. I'm going to take Donald on a center working back. I'm going to take Donald with width and speed any day. And so I'll take that victory right there. What I said at the beginning of this clip, though, that's interesting is the tackle absolutely just locks onto him. So even though he locks onto him, there's no way that this guy can work here. So you essentially get him walling and sitting, and then you get a free runner on the edge. So this is a great way of using Donald kind of as a decoy to get Matthews free home. Now, the other thing that I like about this is that Dante Fowler never quits on this. Okay, this is what you call a fish hook. Okay, so he's going to work vertical, and then he's going to work back in here. So knowing that he's probably going to step up, I'm going to fish hook this way, and then what you have here is he's basically spying the running back. If the running back blocks, he's going to work up and penetrate and pretty much try and find open space. Donald is trying to cut the corner as much as he can. He gets pushed wide, and then he's just trying to get vertical. Okay, so Matthews whiffs on the sack. 97 knows I've got to hold the edge now because he crossed my face. So as he's holding that edge, now you get Russell Wilson stepping up. Good quarterback. He doesn't want to run. He's looking to try and make a play. So he sees him flash up here. He turns back, and there's Dante Fowler with the sack. And so this is a great example of how a simple overload front with a mug backer on the running back side can get you kind of manipulated to where you can get one-on-ones. And if you have a dominant pass rusher, that tackle may just end up latching on like we see here. So again, going back to the beginning, let's go through this again. You're going to get penetration in the A right here. He's going to wrap to the opposite A. You're going to get 2 vertical sets by the D ends, which is going to create a 4-man rush. You've got a mug in here who can either add in, find in a hole anywhere he can if the running back ends up going there, or you can tell him he can have an up and under, and if he gets cross-face, he can work outside. So what you have right here, again, is another best practice in the overload front on a passing down. Number 3 is going to show us the jet front. Now, this is probably, I would say, kind of the old school way of attacking a pass pro. What we're seeing now more and more are 5-man, 6-man fronts, and then we're getting pop-outs, we're getting twists, they're manipulating the pass pro. If you've got 4 guys that can really rush the ball and you want to just kind of play with the center, really kind of inhibit him from doing anything, you can rush the edge and kind of create these man blocking, knowing that you can kind of play games over here, get the center to work a certain way. So what we have here really is going to be that jet front. So they use motion probably to ID coverage. They know it's man coverage. It looks like Littleton's manned up on the running back. Okay, you've got a condensed set here so that they can at least attempt to get a chip on Matthews. And what you're going to see is what I call an exit stunt. So the end's going to go in first, and the tackle's going to wrap out. So they're trying to get Donald open on this side. Now, what I love about this is just the absolute freak that Donald is. He is so quick with what he does. And not only that, but the Rams have put 2 great rushers on one side. You've got Dante Fowler, and you've got Donald on there. What the other thing that I like about this, and I'll talk it later on in the clip, is how you really are putting a lot of pressure on the running back to block somebody. And so what this really makes you look at is, okay, earlier I showed you the jet with the mug. Now you're going to see the jet with kind of this kind of 2-man looking coverage behind it. Or what you can see is one rat using, or one sink, or whatever you call your one robber look, where you can have 2 safeties with one kind of playing that rat in the middle. Okay, so at the beginning, what you're going to see. So let's focus on the tech stunt over here. Donald is just going to work outside. So he's staying outside, knowing that Dante Fowler is going to up and under. The moment that Fowler goes flat, he knows he can now work. What I love about this is just look at how quickly he gets around the corner. So once Fowler feels that tackle turn sideways, that's his cue to rip underneath. What that will do is that tackle has to latch onto him and essentially sets a pick on that guard, allowing Donald to work uninhibited to the edge. Okay, so that's a good look at it, and look at how quick that is. I mean, Donald is there in a flash. Dante Fowler cuts underneath, and he essentially just works that hoop right off the backside of that tackle, ends up getting the sack. So let's look at it from the other side. All they're going to do is they're going to create, kind of feed that slide. So you can see right here, they're sliding toward Donald. Okay, as they're sliding toward Donald, 90's going to feed that slide. Okay, he's going to work to that ear hole of that center. That's going to bring that guard this way. You're getting a vertical stem by Matthews. That, again, is going to bring that tackle. What you've created here is a lane. If the running back blocks, Littleton has a 2-way go. He essentially can do whatever he wants. So going back to the beginning, you want to make guys do what they're not great at. So if you know one of these guys, man, maybe he's a road grader and he's great in the run game, but he is not great in the passing game. That's where you want to get the one-on-one. Let's say, for instance, the running back he's kind of a prima donna guy. He's a speed guy. He doesn't want to block anybody. Find ways to get him in the pass pro and get him to blocking. Now, it's kind of like what the famous Alex Gibbs said about his run blocking. We're not going to block a corner. We're going to make the corner make a tackle, and we're going to force that guy to do something that he's not great at. Well, on the defensive counterpart, I'm going to make the running back block on a pass down, do something that he's not great at. And so what you see here is a legit just whiff of a block on Littleton. So even if Donald wouldn't have made it here, look at that. That is a free hit on Russell Wilson. He can't go outside because Clay Matthews is there. He can't go to his left because Donald is there. If he steps up, he's going to get smacked right in the face by Littleton, and that's essentially what ends up happening, though Donald gets there first. So again, another great example of anytime that you're going to do a jet front and you think that you can manipulate one side more than the other, or you feel like you can get a matchup here. Let's say, again, he likes to step to his left. Now what I want to do is get him to set, give the illusion that this is open as he sits over here, because again, we're feeding that. We're trying to bring some pressure from this side, okay, to get him to move this way. And then now that free hitter's over there. This is, but to me, I think a couple takeaways from this is just, man, Donald is a freak. And then two, make that running back block. Look at that. That guy barely even touches him. Now he olays him, and now you get free hitters on this. So again, just showing you again best practice out of the jet front using either tech stunts, which I showed earlier, or those exit stunts where he's going underneath now, and then he's wrapping over here, creating 2-on-2, forcing that center to kind of float and figure out where he's got to go. Great play by the Rams, and there's your sack number 3 for the day. This is the wide clip in this because I wanted to show you what the Rams were doing in the secondary. You can see right here that it's just simple man coverage. Really, in the Saban vernacular, this would be cover 0 because you don't have a rat. Everybody's kind of attached, and then you're going to have really a 5-man rush up here. Now, one thing about what I like about a 5-0 rush is that, and you've got cover 1 man. One, you're going to close a post, okay? You've got man covered, so everybody's going to be tight. But now you've got man blocking on here. So what you can now do is pick. So who is the weakest link in pass pro? Who is the guy that you feel like you can get a one-on-one matchup with? And that's what you should be doing in these 5-0 fronts, okay? Is now it's man blocking. You can see right now, man blocking, man blocking, man blocking, man blocking, man blocking. If the running back were to stay in, then you can now get him to insert on a green dog. So you can it can turn into a 6-man pressure. So what they've done is they've just created man blocking, and what they're doing right here is they're really trying to pick on the right tackle, Fetty, right here, and that's what ends up happening. Now, the other thing that I want to point out about this is that not everybody is going to get the sack. So if you feel yourself stalling out, sit. Okay, here I'm stalling out, sit. I need to hold the edge. Here I'm stalling out, sit. Now I'm going to start rocking back inside, and I'm going to kind of play that ballet of the dancing bears that I talk about. Okay, I want to penetrate here. I'm going to start sitting right here. If he comes underneath of me, now we can get what I call a natural, find the space. So you're either going to sit or you're going to find space. Okay, he knows that he's put vertically. He doesn't want Russell Wilson to sit up, so he knows I'm going to work here because he knows Dante Fowler's coming here, and if I cross his face, he'll eventually work out. So what you're doing is you're attacking a half a man, but if you feel something, that's what you're going to attack. So he's going to press vertical to close the pocket. He's going to fish hook around here, and then eventually he's the one that can pop out if Russell Wilson were to escape. So what ends up happening is as he presses vertically, you're going to see right here, you're going to see Abukum work that fish hook. He defeats the tackle with that little hesitation. Russell Wilson doesn't have anywhere to go, and now he's sacked. So let's go to the very beginning. Let's watch it from the top. Watch how everybody kind of attacks their man. Okay, everybody's attacking half a man. He's working to the field side, which is usually what you would have in this nose, just kind of work to the field side. Everybody's attacking their guy. He's going to close. He's going to use a bull rush move to collapse the pocket. They're going to hold this side. Russell Wilson doesn't have anywhere to go. So what's he do? He feels the pressure in his face. He steps back, and he ends up right into the fish hook by the DN. And so really what you want, if you know you've got a right-handed quarterback and he likes escaping, have this guy set the vertical set and get the pressure coming this side and let him kind of hang back here so that if he were to roll out over here, he's ready to button press and shed and make that play. So again, just kind of showing you the different variations. I think sometimes when, especially at the lower levels, when these guys go, you're like, okay, turn it out loose, and everybody just gets vertical. Well, now you're susceptible to screens, and now you're susceptible to scrambles. Not everybody is supposed to make the sack. Design these for 1 or 2 people to make the sack, or design it to where you have an escape route or an invisible escape route or a booby trap escape route to where that quarterback's going to get funneled to somebody that you know is going to end up making the play. So again, another great example of using a best practice on a passing down, man coverage to really stick to those receivers, 5-0 to get the one-on-one, let the guy who's running the fish hook make the sack. Back of the game, we're going to look at an overload front to the running back, meaning that they're going to set the overload side to the running back side. So you're seeing the mug over here, but you're seeing the 3D linemen on this side. So they're actually setting it. You could, in the NFL, it's hard to say field and boundary because of everything's pretty much in the middle of the field, but you could technically say that the bigs are going to be to the boundary in this case, or to the back. What you're going to see here, though, is really how you can use width and speed to get into a tackle that's not very good. So again, we're looking at the right tackle for Seattle. They're basically going to man him up. They're going to get Dante Fowler with this width. Now, the two things with this, one, if it's an overload front and they're going to release it, they could slide it this way. The other thing that you're going to see is that Hollister cannot get a chip on Fowler. So really, if they would have to bring him out, and if they did that, he would probably just move back in so that they can't get the chip on him. And really, the other thing is just no, you can't handle Aaron Donald. So Fulker's going to have a problem with Donald, and then you're going to have the right tackle here have problems with Dante Fowler. So as we go, this is what they're trying to do, is they're trying to get these two guys one-on-one here. So you're going to see the nose actually work weak. So he's going to work over here, and you're going to see Littleton really what I call, the ballet of the dancing bears. He's not going to stab him, but he's just going to keep moving. What they're trying to create is space. Okay? They're trying to get these guys to start working this way and away from the two one-on-one matchups that they have over here. Now, once Littleton sees him move, now he can start working back over here. That's going to bring his eyes over here, but he's picked. So if they wanted to, they could easily just wrap him across, but instead Littleton kind of bounces up. Now, this is, again, a great example of being wide and just using speed and chopping that hand, going underneath, picking up that towel, running the hoop, force Russell Wilson to step inside. This is a good example of a natural. So once Donald has stepped up vertically, you're going to see 97 work out. So now you've got the fishhook. You've got him working. If he was going to step up into the pocket, that's where he would be, because now nobody can help on 97. So this is a good example of using an interior loop that we talked about earlier in these overload fronts, except for instead of, sending him here and looping him across like we showed at the beginning, they're using his width and speed here and then looping him back over here. So instead of doing kind of a knot, now they're doing a ton stunt out of this overload. But again, the one-on-ones both end up working. He dips underneath, ends up making the sack because Donald is right there and just rips through Fulker's block, creating that. There's nowhere for him to go. You could say the right tackle basically gets the sack right here. So a good example, again, of using best practices, using 5-man fronts, using man covers to keep things tight. Okay, you can see the safety here is working off the running back. They're giving the illusion that it's going to be that he's down, he's going to sling back, he's got the running back, he's got the tight end. Just great look at it of how, again, manipulating one-on-ones. You know it's man blocking because it's a 5-man front. They're going to empty protect it. He's going to work to the field to get Donald to have a little bit more space. Once Donald crosses, he's going to loop on the ton stunt. You've got the fish hook to create him to step up. So again, you're manipulating, one, the movement of the quarterback, but two, you're manipulating the pass pro at the end of the day. This is just textbook clinic stuff by the Rams, and one of the reasons why they were one of the better defenses in the NFL last year. Great job. Thanks for joining me on this session of MQ Chess Match. Make sure to follow me on Twitter at @the_coach_A. Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube page. As always, appreciate you guys. Make sure you hit the contact page on my website, MatchQuarters.com, if you have questions, or through my DM on Twitter.